Welcome to the new series called Panic, Worry, or Chill. And basically, what I do in this series is I'm going to evaluate every team's past week performance that lost and evaluate if they need to panic, if they should just worry, or if they can chill and that their team is still in a fine position and it's just an unlucky loss, or it doesn't matter and they'll probably bounce back and be better. Here we go. First off, we got the New Orleans Saints, and I believe that they need to worry. I know that no one expected them to be a Super Bowl team, but they definitely aren't that. Their team is mediocre. They definitely have a bunch of good players around the roster, and I do really think that Taysom Hill is good, but they do not give him enough carries. And I feel like that they're an okay team, and they very much could win the division at the current state, but they're definitely not going anywhere in the playoffs. If they do make it there, there's many teams in the NFC that will destroy them, and their run defense just was not amazing this week. ETN ran all over them, and I feel like they have a lot of things that need to be improved, but they are a decent team, and they are very much still in playoff position, but I would start to worry about that because this was a very poor performance, especially at the end of the game with the drop. Next up, we have the Buccaneers, and I think they could chill. Just like I said with New Orleans, the division is pretty weak, and they could still get into the playoffs. And in my opinion, they've probably been the best team in the division this season so far, but they do have a lot of holes. I would chill, but there definitely is some problems that needs to be resolved. I don't think their offense is doing as well as they should be, especially with all the weapons they have. Maybe it's play calling, but I think 10 points against the Falcons is not good enough, but that's just my opinion. But I think they could still chill. Raiders, I would panic. I don't even care about their record. To lose to the Bears 30-12 without Justin Fields, especially considering how well Donta Foreman did this game, they need to panic. I mean, the Bears are just not a good football team, and they absolutely ragdolled the Raiders this game. The Raiders only seem to do anything in garbage time, and for the Bears to destroy you like that, you're not making the playoffs. You're not going to be a Super Bowl team. I don't care if you could have one bad week. I would start to panic. Something needs to change. I mean, the quarterback play has been ridiculous. To be fair, Jimmy Garoppolo was injured, but I don't even feel like the offense was the complete problem. I mean, this Chicago Bears team scoring that many points is that absolutely ridiculous. And also, I feel like Devontae Adams. I know he was complaining this week, but he needs more targets other than just the first quarter. I mean, I don't think he did anything after the first quarter in this game. With the Colts, I would chill. I know it was a disappointing result of the game, but in my opinion, it was a good performance. The Colts played better than I thought they would. They're actually not a bad football team. Their defense, even though they allowed a lot of points, seemed to show up at big times, make a lot of good plays, and I feel like they shouldn't worry about this game. Cleveland are a good team. They beat the 49ers last week. I feel like they still have hope, but Jerome Ford absolutely killed you guys. As much as I'm only going to say worry for the Lions, I really have to question what the fuck was that? I mean, if you asked me who was going to win going into that game, I would have picked Detroit, but Detroit just got absolutely fucking ragdolled, dude. Like, that was bad. I would just worry. They're still 5-2. They have a good record, top of that division, and to be honest, I don't think any team will compete for that division title. But I don't know if they're a Super Bowl team after that performance. We definitely are going to need to see better play next week from them. The Rams, I would start to panic. I mean, the Rams on paper are a good football team. Matthew Stafford, they have Cooper Kupp, they have Puka Nakua, they have Tutu Atwell, even Ben Skoranek is a decent receiver. And I know Kyron Williams is injured, but their offense should definitely be doing better than this. And I know Pittsburgh's defense is good, but Pittsburgh's offense has not been doing well all season. They do have players like Aaron Donald on their defense, and they just did not play up to par this game. I mean, Pittsburgh are actually looking like a good team, but they're just not up to par so far. And I feel like the Rams really need to do something this season, maybe at the trade deadline. But 3-4 with this roster, it's not good. And the real problem that I would have to say is the reason why they have to panic is the fact that the Niners and the Seahawks both look like really good teams this year, and they're definitely going to have tough in those division games. With K1 coming back, even the Cardinals will be trouble. And with the NFC being as strong as it is right now, I don't think a 9-win team will be making the playoffs this season. With the Commanders, I would chill. I don't think any of their fans thought that they would make the playoffs this year, so considering that they were even 500 going into this game was above expectations. So I feel like 3-4 at this stage of the season is probably good considered what they were projected. But this is obviously a disappointing game. I mean, the New York Giants are not a good football team, and the New York Giants just played better than them all game. To only score 7 on the Giants, considering how the Giants' defense has played this season, is not good. But I feel like the Commanders still have a chance at making the playoffs at this stage of the season, so this is not a bad result, especially from what they're expected. Buffalo have to panic. I mean, this is just not okay. New England have been playing awful. How do you lose to New England? And it's not just this game. Buffalo have been losing a lot of very winnable games this season. I just don't feel like they're that good, especially considering their Super Bowl aspirations. They have not been playing up to par. Now listen to them have their hopes absolutely killed by Mike Gesicki.
Jones swings it. Touchdown! Gesicki!
The Dolphins, I would worry, and it's not because this loss looked bad. I feel like the Dolphins actually played good this game. The thing that worries me is they haven't beaten a team with a winning record yet, and the only two tough matchups they'd had that are Buffalo and the Eagles, they lost. So I don't feel like the Dolphins have shown anything that impressive so far, and I don't feel like they're at the Super Bowl caliber that everyone thinks they are, considering that they have an amazing roster. I feel like they could be doing better, but also Devon Achane is injured, and they had some defensive injuries this game, so I wouldn't worry about this game. I would just worry about the season in general, especially considering they keep losing to their only good matchups. But the Dolphins are still fine. They're definitely making the playoffs, and I still think they're Super Bowl contenders, especially when they're healthy.
Tua fires left side for the end zone. Tyreek Hill touchdown!
I feel like if I was a Chargers fan, I would start to panic. I mean, I know Mahomes is an amazing quarterback, and this was probably not a very winnable game, but being 2-4 at this stage of the season with their current roster, it doesn't look good. And I feel like how the Chargers have been playing, there's absolutely no way they're going to win a Super Bowl this year. In fact, I don't even think they're going to make the playoffs at the current stage of the season, which they were probably labeled at least Super Bowl contenders going into the season. This has been very disappointing. With the 49ers, I wouldn't quite panic, but I would definitely worry. I mean, this was a really bad loss, and that's two straight really bad losses. But the Niners are still a great team. They're one of the best teams in the NFC, and they are dealing with a lot of injuries right now. And I feel like when they're healthy, they'll still probably be the Super Bowl contenders that they looked like the first 5 weeks. But you definitely got to worry a lot. I mean, these are not games they should be losing. The Vikings have looked terrible all season. You should give Kirk Cousins his props when props are due. He played great this game against one of the best defenses in the league. Anyone who's saying the 49ers defense is fraudulent doesn't know what they're talking about. Their defense wasn't the reason for either of these last two losses, and they've barely allowed any points all season. Their offense has been the problem, and Brock Purdy hasn't been playing to expectation, but I wouldn't panic, just worry. Now watch Jordan Addison kill every single 49ers fan's hopes right before halftime.
Blitz off the edge. Cousins throws, and it's taken away by Addison for the touchdown. He and Charvarius Ward.
The Cardinals can chill. They have virtually no expectations, so losing every week isn't bad. And to be honest, this wasn't even that bad of a loss. But Bobo with this amazing catch shown on the screen right there, oh my God. The Cardinals don't have many expectations for this year, so them losing just brings them one step closer to the number one overall pick every game, and K1 is coming back if they actually want to do well, so this isn't that bad, and Seattle was a tough game anyway, so I would say it is chill. The Packers need to be in complete panic mode right now. I mean, they look awful. Denver's not a good team, and they lost to them. Packers haven't looked good all season, and with the Lions playing really well, there's absolutely no way they're going to win the division. And considering how well the NFC is playing right now, there's absolutely no way they're going to find themselves into a playoff spot. But I don't feel like they're going to tank. I feel like they're going to be a 6-11 team maybe and not get a high overall pick and not make the playoffs. And it's overall just a terrible result for the season. The Packers suck. This is complete panic mode. You're not making the playoffs and you're not getting a high pick. What the fuck do you do now? Anyways, thank you for listening to the first ever video of Panic, Worry, or Chill. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys next time.